Hey everybody, welcome to the May Dev Update. I'm here first off, we're in a new location. Check this out. We're sitting on a couch, we're chilling. Anyway, I'm here with Phil, Patrick, Rachel, in the proper order. James, Dave V with his tan back from Tahiti, and Katie, who didn't get to go on vacation. We're gonna talk about season 2. We're gonna start with a high-level overview. Season 2 is themed Blood of the Sands. You can pretty much guess where it's gonna take place in Brimstone. We have a lot of new content to talk about. We have 10-person trials and 20-person trials. Katie, why don't you, I heard something crazy is going on in First Light. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so as players join the public test realm, they might notice that they can no longer get into First Light. There has been a takeover. James, do you want to give a little bit of input into what exactly happened?
Oh, okay. Well, well, as you know, one of the key figures that you're sort of interacting with along the main story is Adiana, and she's basically doing some new things.
Yeah, yeah, and she's kind of kicked us out. So there's some more to be coming with the season 3/expansion release. So we'll have more info on the exciting story behind it, but you'll notice that you can no longer get into First Light.
Let me just tell people who have land or houses there, Adiana was very nice. Nothing will be lost as a player.
Yeah.
Everything will be refunded
Very
back to
thoughtful.
the players. You'll be
Yes.
taken care of. So we're fortunate on that front.
Absolutely.
She didn't just boot us out and take all our stuff.
Consider it.
Another quick note I wanted to touch on is, I know we've talked about Transmog being the summer, and it is a summer release. We just thought it was a big enough feature that it could stand out on its own, so it's going to be in an off-cycle release after this. However, we're still tying it to the rewards. Phil, you want to talk about that?
Sure, yeah. In the Season 2 pass, players can earn Transmog tokens on the free and the premium track. And so you'll be earning them before the feature releases, but hold on to them. I mean, you can't get rid of them, but earn them so that when the feature does release, you're ready to go. You're ready to start transmogging. And I mean, you're going to be able to apply that to any of our awesome art on our armor and weapons in the game.
Yeah, I think this is great because you're not going to have to, Transmog's not going to come out and then you're going to have to go hurry through the season pass. You're going to immediately have all this stuff ready when it comes out so you can dive right into the feature.
Yep.
So let's do a deep dive on season 2, and I think we should start with the narrative. James, do you want to go a little deeper than you I know you gave us the high level, but.
Yeah. So season 2 kicks off when a Dune Walker named Malik hires the Silver Crows to recover some special items that's going to help him revive an ancient sect called the Blood of the Sands. And it turns out these special items are sandworm eggs, so what could go wrong? And so this kicks off kind of a really epic feeling adventure that goes across Brimstone Sands.
Well, and that segues really well into the quest line because the quest line is going to take you through this story. You want to talk about that, Patrick?
Yeah, definitely. So the Season 2 quest line builds on everything that made the Season 1 quest line great. We're doubling down on cinematics. We're doubling down on fun encounters. So like James said, you're helping Malik recover these eggs, and throughout the journey you guys are going on, you're fighting really cool named enemies that are now instanced. So we learned from the Faceless fight, and we're not just doing this in the open world. Players are going to go and fight this in a solo trial. It's going to be great. You're going to fight a handful of enemies in there. And then we also have a number of very cool cinematics. So you're going to recruit a new member to the Silver Crows, help them recover the items that they asked for before they're willing to sign on to the Crows. And the whole quest line, like James says, just feels really epic.
Well, and a cool thing about it is that anybody who missed out on the Fellowship and Fire questline and getting Xander in your crew, you do that part of it. Yep. So if you've already completed the full Fellowship and Fire questline, then you start brand new with Season 2, or you start again with Season 2 and getting the new member. But if you hadn't done that and this is your first time, doing the quest line, you get to do those pieces of the first season quest line.
And it's worth noting, we truncated it a little bit to make it, so it's been streamlined.
Yeah, it's not the full one.
Yeah.
But it's still fun.
The fun beats made it, of course, in, right?
Yeah, because it's cool. It's cool, like getting the different team members for the group. So. Yeah.
And on that, in season 2, you'll also pick up a new team member for the Silver Crows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
Cool. And so along with season 2 comes some season pass changes, Phil? And quit looking over my shoulder at my notes.
Guy reads off a card.
Stop cheating, man.
Yeah, no, I'm cheating ahead. No surprises here. So for the new season pass and the new season rewards, we are working on optimizing the time it's going to take players to kind of get through that, make sure that it's really worthwhile to focus on doing the activities on the card and making sure that is a more of an equitable, rewarding loop for players. I know we're probably going to actually just continually optimize that. So we're shipping some updates before season 2 actually, and then we're going to just keep an eye on that and keep improving that for everybody.
Yeah, I think something, Patrick had said before when we were in our pre-discussion is you don't have to feel compelled to do the whole card because that can feel grindy. So we're trying to make you feel well rewarded. If you want to do 3 and punch, that works. Or if you want to get a line, that works.
Yeah.
We're trying to give players ways to not have to feel grindy on this so that it can just be part of your natural play patterns. And I think that's important.
Yeah, and a lot of that is adding new activity types that allow players of all play styles to make sure that they can clear out a whole card if they want or progress to a new card. And same with the journey too. We want to make sure that every player of every play style has a way through the journey. So we're adding a number of new journey tasks to this season's journey. So whereas season 1 had 10 tasks in each journey chapter, season 2 is going to have a little more.
Yep.
But again, you don't have to do them all.
Don't have to do them
Don't
all.
have to do them all, but
Yep.
it will give you a nice chunk of progression though.
Our
Absolutely.
completionists are not listening to you.
I know, yeah. The completionists are like, yeah, full
And
card.
they're already mad.
I think I relate to those, yes. All right, well, let's talk about the seasonal trial.
Yeah, so season 2 introduces our first seasonal trial. This is called the Hatchery, and like James said, you're going and finding some sandworm eggs. So where else will you find some eggs other than a hatchery? You're going to fight
Naturally.
5 waves of enemies, so a handful of kind of fodder waves who are minions of the big bad boss of the hatchery. Then you're going to fight the Horde Master and his hordes of fire grunts. And then finally, you're going to fight Hadish Hazar, who is the Keeper of Flame, who is incubating these eggs and keeping them warm. Really epic 10-player fights, so it's a great opportunity for you to find 10 friends and then go and hop in this instance encounter.
Would you say that it's exciting?
It's very exciting, but one of the most exciting things about it is the way we're handling the rewards in
I
the
was
trial,
just gonna say that.
where they have these seals. So all the named items drop as Constitution items, but I can get seals from the trial that lets me respec these items into focus.
Whatever attribute you want.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very player friendly.
Taking something that players really like on the faction shop and moving them into this event, and so that players can kind of have a little bit more agency and tailor their rewards to what they're looking for. I know Scott's gonna love that.
Yep.
Trying to find that int piece, right, Scott?
He's been scouring Brimstone Sands.
One other thing that Patrick mentioned before, that I think is exciting is that
No, what did I do?
we heard feedback before that solo players who like playing with other players but don't like playing with other players want to be able to enjoy this content too. So that's a big piece of content that we have a solo route.
Will they be egg static?
Unsubscribe.
There is also a very cool reward that players can get as well from that, right? A nice little helmet. if you
That's
will.
from the season 2 event, actually.
Oh, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah.
My bad.
Way to go, Phil.
Yes.
How about the sandworm?
Oh, for the Elite Trial. So the Elite Trial is a second trial we're adding, and it's on the Sandworm. A couple cool things about this. One, it's 20 people. So much bigger scale. It's got an epic arena. And we've really tailored it to sort of be super hard content, right? So in this one, you're going to have sort of a highly coordinated group. You're going to have optimized gear. You're going to have to know the fight. This is our first time we're creating content that we want to be really hard.
So, well, second time. We wanted the invasion to be really hard. So
Yes.
is this going to be really hard?
This will be very hard.
How many players will beat it the first week?
The first week, 100 players will beat it.
Okay. You heard it here first. 100.
No, I think,
That's the
but the
over-under.
goal is to make this hard, and I
There
think
was a time, though, that we had created difficult content that players were upset with us about. If you remember, Merkguard, they said was way overtuned, and that's why we did that dev run. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
And that went great.
That was great.
we made it pretty far.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, we definitely made it pretty far, but we agreed and we had tuned it down a little bit. But this one is meant to be difficult.
Yeah, this is like what you're driving your gear chase toward. This
Yep.
is like the content we're building toward, and the rewards better be phenomenal.
The rewards are really good.
For the people that beat
the
it.
rewards are all going to be really strong. As part of the prep loop, I don't know if you want to give a little bit of a hint on to like getting ready for this big event, but
I might as well. It'll be in PTR, but
yeah, the sandworm is a beast enemy, so keep that in mind as you're gearing up for what's more effective against beast types in the game. And then also it does take place in Brimstone Sands, so I think acid may
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 play
play
into
a little
it.
part.
play a little bit of a role
bit,
here.
A little bit.
One of the cool things about both the elite trial and the seasonal trial is that it brings in larger groups, right? Like players have to fight with 20 other players, 10 other players. So that brings in some new functionality, right, Rachel?
Yeah, so as part of these changes, we will be bringing in raid groups. So it'll be 4 groups of 5, so up to 20 players. And it's open world raid groups. It's raid groups for the trials and everything. But now you can see when you're doing a chest run just how far away you are from everyone. But you'll be able to see everyone on the map and group up and hang out together with 19 other people.
It's going to be great for open world PvP, for
Absolutely.
ECRs, things. It's going to help a lot, like just coordinating and communicating with
Company
people.
runs. It's going to be great.
Totally.
Very excited. Part of the rewards for the Sandworm is a new heart rune,
Yep.
which is the Sandworm heart rune, which you'll see in the PTR. But it also allows us to talk. I want to talk about heart runes just for a minute, because I know our roadmap said we're going to be doing a heart rune every release, every season. While we will be doing one in season 3, it's something that we could keep doing them, but we're feeling like it's almost becoming, there's almost too much going on in the game with them right now.
It's taking away from how special these are with how quickly we're putting them out there when there's also other stuff that's coming out too, that you can use the heart runes that you've collected already. So I want to give them time in the game for players to really love them before we put out another one. So
And there's so many that I want to play with all of them and check them out, and it's hard to get through that whole thing. So we're gonna scale back on that plan, unless of course we hear like an overwhelming majority of the players saying, no, we want more and more and more. Then of course we'll revisit it. But I don't think we're hearing that message. So that is a change to the roadmap we'll be making. And then the last deep dive on the season 2 PvE stuff is seasonal events.
Yeah, so season 2, we have a very exciting event for players. It's called the Siege of
We
Sulfur.
gotta kill that now.
we need to stop
Please put your booze in the chat.
immediately.
It's called the Siege of Sulfur. So you're going to help a Dunewalker who's transporting some of those sandworm eggs. His cart broke down, and now he's trying to defend them from sulfur elementals who are attacking. So you're going to fight through a few waves of enemies trying to destroy those eggs. And if you're able to successfully defend every wave of enemies, you're going to get great rewards that scale based on how many eggs you successfully defend. So my favorite reward from that event is the hat that Phil alluded to earlier, the mini Devourer hat. It's my
So
favorite
cool.
cosmetic.
It
It's a
looks
little mini
so
sandworm that goes in
cool.
your head, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's shift over to PvP. There's a lot of PvP changes coming in this season 2 release. First one being Crossworld OPR, which I'm personally super excited for.
Yeah, we talked about Crossworld OPR a little bit in a previous dev update too, but this is where you'll be queuing for OPR, and it's going to be your entire region, so anybody in your region at all. We'll also be introducing regional leaderboards with Crossworld OPR, so your OPR leaderboard will be everyone in your region that you'll be competing against for rewards.
It was exciting. I get to fall further down the leaderboards.
Get good, Patrick.
That's cool. On top of Crossworld OPR, we've made other adjustments to OPR. Dave, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, there's some cool changes coming with OPR. I think one of the ones I'm most excited about is some more scoring adjustments, right? Like we really want to start emphasizing the objectives a bit more and less what Scott does, just sort of spam his fire staff for damage.
In the first place, when you get your name up at the top of that list, you can come back to me.
So the
As far
scoring.
as I saw, the highest you got was 3rd.
I got 2 the other day.
The scoring adjustments will really sort of, it'll be about defending the points, getting the points, and sort of playing the objectives. We're also going to make some changes to the way the Baroness fight works to make it a little more strategic. You'll get to try those out in the PTR. And then the last part that I think is really interesting is some changes to door resistances so that you can't just sort of plink away at them from a distance with piercing weapons. And with those, we'll be making some changes to siege equipment around it to make it a little more interesting, hopefully to create secondary objectives around it. So a bunch of little changes, just sort of try to make the modes a little more exciting and tactical.
That's exciting. Exciting. Phil, you want to talk about the PvP reward track changes?
Yeah, for sure. So I think I did allude to this too in a previous dev update, but we are making some big changes to the rewards track for Season 2. Players are just going to be able to have more reliantly get like really good drops. So we've overhauled all the existing drops. We've weeded out things that players weren't selecting, that just weren't performing in the current meta of the game. And we really tailored that to hopefully making the good stuff really good. And making sure it shows up a lot more frequently for players so that even if you can't afford it on one pass revolution on the track, you don't have to worry about losing the opportunity to pick it up then because it'll come back soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then the last PvP update is a new arena map.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this one. So going with the Brimstone theme, I'm sure if you've run around New Corsica, you've noticed areas that could become cool arenas. We've used some of that to create a really different arena, right? Like the layout's completely different. It's multi-leveled. You're able to knock people off platforms into different levels. Like it's going to really, I think, change up the gameplay of arenas from sort of our current one. So love the new visuals, love the new layout, and I think it's going to transform. Like people are going to have to come up with new tactics, new builds to really perform in this one.
It's awesome. So that's where we are on Season 2. Before we go, I did want to touch on a couple more topics on the way out. One of them is I know there's been a lot of news and talk about a second project the studio's picked up, and can't stress enough, New World is something we're heavily invested in. I think next year probably has more on it than this year's plan. So there's a lot going on. There's going to be no taking our foot off the gas on New World. We are pumped and excited to keep building this and working with the players. It's here to, it's where Amazon's behind it. And then other than that, I just wanted to thank y'all for coming and trying this new format. This was kind of fun doing it, like instead of doing segments, doing the one big shot. It was good. So I appreciate y'all coming. And we're filming the Q&A video the day after this is released. So I'll say tomorrow because it's your tomorrow, but it's our like next week. So if you have any questions, please get them to us. Otherwise, thanks. If you like what you saw, subscribe, like us, and everything. Appreciate it. See you later.